Let's talk about the perfect diet. I got a question from Paula in Florida who asked me what my opinion is about vegan and or raw diets. And she also asked, how much water should I be drinking every day? So let's start off with the first question about the perfect diets, the vegan and raw diets. You might be wondering whether or not everyone should be doing vegan. Everyone should be doing raw because these allegedly fantastic, perfect diets can make people into pro athletes. There are football players who are eating only vegan, only raw. There are these guys who are just incredible beasts who are managing to do all this stuff on a vegan and raw diet. Should you be doing it? And the answer is stop thinking that you can do just what somebody else did and assume that it's going to work for you. What you should be looking for is the diet that actually works for your body. Somebody who is allergic to dairy is probably not going to do well on a diet that includes dairy. If you, like me, have trouble digesting tofu, have trouble digesting a couple of different kinds of nuts like walnuts and almonds, then you might not do so well on a vegan or a raw diet. And also, let's be clear, if you're going to test out different diets, you need to make sure you understand how to do these diets correctly. There are people who want to be vegan thinking that it's super healthy, but then they're eating vegan cheeses and vegan crackers and other vegan snacks that come in boxes, thinking that they're doing their bodies so much good and the environment so much good, when in fact, vegan cheese is not cheese. It doesn't taste like cheese. It doesn't have any of the nutrients that normal cheese has. There's no protein in those fake vegan cheeses. There's like 1 gram and the rest of it is garbage. And by the way, it doesn't taste like cheese. I know what cheese tastes like. I love cheese, but I just can't eat it because my body hates me when I eat it. So I only eat it occasionally when I want to take a nap. Now, if I were to go on a vegan diet, or a raw diet, and I couldn't have nuts, and I couldn't have tofu, I couldn't have almonds, I couldn't have a bunch of things that I probably need to have to maintain basic nutritional levels, I wouldn't do so well. Now, I know for me and my body, having rice, meat, and vegetables seems to work really well for me. That's probably because of some wisdom that I read in a book somewhere. I don't remember who it's from. I think it was from Michael Pollan's book, but the idea is try to eat real food, which means it's like vegetables, meats, and like actual grains or whatever, just normal actual food that hasn't been run through some sort of production process. Try to eat those things, and when you're trying to pick which ones to eat, try to pick the ones that your grandparents or your great-grandparents probably ate. That's the safest, most easy, logical way to go about choosing your foods. In this day and age, you have access to literally the whole world's selection of foods. But that doesn't mean that all of those foods are going to be good for your body. You need to test and figure out how your body actually responds to different kinds of foods. So I'll give you a personal example. I absolutely love tzatziki, which is like Greek yogurt, cucumber sauce. I also love hummus, which neither of those will you find in China, or would you have found in China 100 years ago. I love the taste of hummus and tzatziki, but there's dairy in the tzatziki and the chickpeas in the hummus don't really agree with my insides. And while I can eat them and my mouth loves them, it's probably not a good idea for me to base my diet around those foods because my genetics basically have determined that those are not foods this body knows how to digest and utilize super well. Yes, delicious, but no, not great for giving me energy and keeping me feeling healthy. So are there some people who would do better not eating rice, who do better maybe just eating all meat? Because there are people out there who seem to thrive on an all meat diet. Yes, there are people like that. Are some individuals going to be able to thrive on a vegan diet? Yes, some of them will. Are some individuals going to be fine on an Atkins diet? Some of them probably will. There are people in this world who have different contexts from yours, so you got to be able to differentiate what your body likes what your body can actually utilize to keep you feeling healthy. Don't assume that that 6'6" super buff Norwegian warrior who eats nothing but raw fish and seal blubber has a diet that's gonna work for you if you grew up around the equator eating fruit all the time. It's just like, let's just recognize that people can be very different and that dietary requirements can be very different from person to person. So don't think that the vegan diet is perfect for everybody or the raw diet is perfect for everybody or that the Szechuan Chinese diet is right for everybody. People come from different places. Our bodies have evolved over time. You have all these subpopulations that have gotten used to eating certain things. So you're not necessarily always going to be able to eat the stuff that somebody else is eating and still feel good. Now, the next question is about how much water to drink. And you're probably thinking, oh, well, there's this formula, duh. It's this many ounces per pound of body weight, or it's this many liters per kilogram of mass, and whatever. Who cares? Do you really care about the exact number that you need to be drinking? Because if you do, I would just submit that you are either a highly competitive pro athlete who is really trying to dial things in, or you are stressing about details that you don't need to stress about because there are way bigger things that will give you much better results than stressing about how many ounces of water you need to drink. Here's the solution. When you are going through your day, have access to water that is convenient and easy. And anytime you feel a little bit thirsty, you can just, sip on a little bit of water and you will end up hydrated throughout the day. If you don't keep water handy, you will do what I often do when I'm sitting in front of the computer, which is to just keep working and ignoring the signal that my body is giving me about thirst. And then after a couple hours of that, I'm dehydrated, I might have a headache, I just don't feel good overall. If you want to be hydrated, just make sure you have some water around and sip on it when you feel a little bit thirsty. It doesn't take that much foresight. You don't have to do any calculations about your weight and how many cups of whatever you need. Just keep some water around and get some exercise. Go for a walk. Work up a little bit of a thirst. Get sweaty by going to the gym, and then make sure you have water that you can drink, and you'll probably end up with enough water. Will you have the exact perfect amount of water? Maybe, but who cares? Like, the fact that you are sitting at a computer for 10 hours a day and then staring at your phone for all the rest of your free time is a much bigger problem than if you got 8 ounces too little. Right? You need to actually be moving. You need to think about the bigger picture in your life rather than just, well, am I getting the exact right amount of water? If I'm 145 pounds, should it be 30, carry the... So hopefully these answers make sense to you. They're perfectly practical and powerful. And you don't have to do any math, and you don't have to do any ridiculous pseudoscientific studies to prove that some diet is better than the other or whatever. All of that nutritional science, as you've probably learned over your adult life, is mostly garbage. If you do want to learn some stuff that'll help your body feel better, I do encourage you to go to uprighthealth.com/BRB. That's the Body Rebuilding Basics course. It's free. It's on my website. It will explain all kinds of fallacies and all kinds of truths that will help you make your body feel better. It'll help you understand why doctors and even physical therapists and chiropractors will sometimes mislead you into the path of weakness and more chronic pain. And it will also give you some free workouts that you can use at home on your own to improve your posture, get your hip mobility a lot better, give you some more strength all over the place. I encourage you to go sign up, uprighthealth.com/BRB, the Body Rebuilding Basics. Go get it now. And if you're looking for some free videos to help you with your body, be sure to check these out here. And subscribe to this channel if you found this video helpful. Make sure you share it. And as always, I hope you remember that pain sucks. Life shouldn't.